Oh, everything's overgrown.
Well. Today we are doing one-of-a-kind explore because we have here my friend Tom.
Hey up, mate.
Who used to work down this mine that is now abandoned. So he's gonna have a lot of first-hand account and a lot of knowledge on what was going on that we have missed on previous explores. So he can tell us a great deal of historical information about this mine that we don't want to be missing. So stay tuned and follow us on this adventure. It's gonna be a few part series because obviously there's a lot to see down here.
Somewhere around about there was the garage. We tipped the ore there at the back of these trees.
All this is overgrown, so we are about, shall we say, 100 yards away from the mine
Something
entrance.
like that. Well, there was the garage is probably where we're stood now, somewhere probably that way a little bit. And we tipped the ore and it levels out, so we've been somewhere probably here, I reckon.
So they tipped the ore in piles
Around this
and
area.
lorries would have come in, obviously,
They loaded it with a loading shovel and then they took it back up to
with
the
a loading
process.
shovel and take it up the valley for processing in the processing mill.
Where that bank is there now, that was the electrician's shop.
Electrician shop there.
And on your left here you got the powder mag, and you'd also got the lamp room, and also there was a diesel tank for filling the machines up,
Yeah.
all on that side.
Yeah.
That is a light off either a Morton tractor or an Imco loader. It's a Lucas one, yeah. They used to fall out. They're only like a rubber surround, so they'd just be set and
So
fall
probably
out. Somebody's picked
probably
it up
from
off
a
it,
tractor, yeah?
Either one at tractors or one at loaders, and they picked it up and chucked it up there. Put it back where it was.
The original drainage
It is, yeah.
for the
Now,
original mine level, lead mine.
It's flown the opposite way to what it is now. It's dry at the moment.
It's flowing opposite way. So originally, no, it's dry, but normally,
It's dry, but
normally flows
flow that
in.
way.
But originally, in the olden times, would have flown that flow that way. Obviously, this mine was redriven in an old lead mine, and that's why we find bits of the old mine from the early 1800s lead miners. And we're going to see some fine examples in a bit of old mine workings, but that's just a bit of a relic from the original soft level that was draining the mines.
Also, remember me telling you about the shadow that used to walk across here that occasionally was seen?
Tell us.
This is where it was.
So there used to be a bit of a haunting. Well,
Supposedly. I've never seen it. I don't know whether
some
I have
people
or not.
claim they have
People
seen like a ghostly figure
walk across here.
walk across from one level to another.
At times we used to be glad going out of that door.
Interesting.
Yeah. Coming up now, we've got the old pump lodge as well. These are arches that they used. I mean, these are pretty well plugged on the right way from the mine now. There aren't many square sets. Held together by a fish plate either side and 4 bolts set into the ground and then fastened together with these tie bars, and then normally you board them inside the web. So every one of these boards is probably fitted and cut so it'd fit in.
Yeah.
Because if there was a slight angle or out like that, you'd have to cut every board to fit into that web. Is there anything behind it?
Any treasures behind? A bit of a, what's that?
That's a bit of a... Oh, I'll tell you what that is.
What is it?
That looks like a key for lifting either these slabs. Do you know to pick them up?
Yeah.
It looks like it went in and locked them. Some of these slabs are lifted like that. I don't know if you can still find...
Yeah, so this would have had a handle. This would have had a handle, yes, it would make sense. Yes.
Can you see?
Yes, so
Go in
this
there.
would have interlock in there.
And then turn, and then you'd lift them.
Obviously, how did they lift it? Not manually,
No,
because
with a machine.
these slabs must weigh a ton.
You lifted them.
Judging by the size, these slabs are about 5 by 5 foot,
They're bigger than that.
or probably bigger.
I reckon they put on. I think they're 8 foot by. They're 8 back. Must be 8 by 8, I think.
8 by 8.
Something like that.
It's crazy.
Something like that, just tucked away.
Yeah.
They'll have broke one and they'll have just chucked it to the side out of way to sit for the last 30 odd years or whatever.
Yeah.
So for joining two pipes together,
this is a pipe saddle.
there'd be a rubber seal inside there. You push your two pipes together, could be air, more than likely water, another one the same on the top, and they bolt together to give you a good seal.
All right, yes. A pipe saddle,
Probably
yes.
a name on that if you
To
look.
seal two ends of a pipe, basically.
Just to let, I'm pretty
Water
certain.
pipe, quite likely, because judging by the size of it, obviously.
If you look up there, there's a tie bar chucked up there that's been welded together.
What's the tie bar?
One of these.
Oh, one of these, yes. That's a tie bar, basically, that holds the rings, basically, in place, kind of thing, or
Keeps them together.
keeps them together, yeah. Utilities cables was mainly hanging on chains, was
There
there?
you are, look, there's a chain there.
Yeah, like these sort of chains. Those chains are for utility cables, definitely, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fastened and bolted, you see the bolts still in there, look.
yeah,
Holding everything together.
yeah. Yeah, you can see them here, yeah. Those utility cable chains.
And the
Yeah.
they're the right way through the line.
And we're going to see an interesting bit that is a cutting basically into the original lead mine that was driven by the old miners in the 1800s when they were chasing for lead. That's
There
the
you
water
go.
pipe.
And that's the other end of it, look.
That's your water pipe, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the other end. What does it say on it, make? Does it make on it? Victolic.
Victolic.
Something I can't make out the rest of that, but yeah. That was your water. I thought it was a pipe.
That's kind of a reference number likely. Yeah.
I thought it was because this is.
That's the water pipe, yeah.
Here on your
I mean,
right-hand side.
judging by the size of it, yeah.
This is the old pump lodge.
So this was the pump lodge,
Yeah.
because you were saying obviously they needed water.
The water was used for damping the dust down when they were drilling.
Yeah.
Because drilling limestone, you don't want nasty dust coming out. It's silica dust and God knows what else coming out. So they damped it down. It also lubricated the drill as it was cutting.
Yeah, it was
So
going
you weren't cutting
through the
dry.
middle. The water was basically jetted through the center of the drill.
Through the centre of the drill, yeah.
As-
Have a look in here now. There's, you can see where it pumps at.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Water pump sat on here.
So the water pump would have been sat
I
here.
reckon it sat on there if you look.
Yeah.
There's a bag in here with it. That's an air, well, both air and water pipes, what it's saying.
That's air, is it?
It could have been water as well,
Yeah.
because the water pipe to the drills were exactly the same as the air. They fastened on the same way with one of those clips.
Let's take a look.
There was also a pump sat on here, I think, weren't there?
There would have been another pump sat there.
I reckon so. That's
And right there you can see the cutting of the old man
running
level.
nice.
Right?
Running, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's running. There's a shaft at the top of the hill. There is a shaft they used to connect down here.
All right.
I went down here a fair length, but it keeps going and going. And look at this, Tom. You can see the cutting of the original coffin level
Yeah.
from the old miners.
You can.
And you can see where they were mining for the lead. That's the lead vein.
It is. You can see the colour of it, the dark there.
You can see the colour of it, that sort of dark grey colour. And obviously a lot of water is percolating through this vein, is it? And
There is.
they make use of this water, as we can see the miners.
That one's called the Saunders valve.
Let me get it on camera. So this is a Saunders valve.
Yeah. Name, because I think that's called the main.
So this was quite standard all over the mine.
Pretty well right.
It's still turning.
Yeah, it's actually not that old, that probably.
Yeah, Saunders. Wow. We're getting the perspective. Oh look, you can see the pig marks. There used to be a shaft here. Go and take a look. Step over that.
Yeah, trying to get over.
Oh shit!
Oh well.
You're on camera.
Great. Oh well.
It's waterproof, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not well.
And that was a shaft basically they used to access this part of this vein basically. This is an old lead vein that was mined in the 1800s and predates everything we've seen that's modern basically.
Look how silted up it is as well.
Yes. Yeah, but it's quite stunning this shaft. This would have gone all the way to surface or maybe or to an upper level maybe.
More than likely. It's a fair old drag up there as well, to be a fair right.
Yeah. And continuing here, I think it's going to be more mud.
It'll be more mud as well.
Yeah, so we're gonna
Get out and get full again.
we're gonna get out, go back to the main level. See, you can see very clearly here the original cutting, kind of soot marks almost. You can see as well. There's a lot of soot and big marks there. You can see. And it goes on up there.
Look there, look.
Yeah.
It goes over the top.
It goes over the top of the level that we come in over the main adit. It goes over the top of the main adit. I've explored this. It's quite big in places.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of lead. So all that they exploited. But we're not going to do that now because we're going to be here forever, are we?
Because the adit used to freeze really bad in winter time. So obviously with the pumps and everything else here, there must have been some sort of heater of sorts to keep it going so it didn't freeze.
So it didn't freeze what exactly?
Well, the water.
The water.
So they got water for the mine as well, because I know they used to pump this up through the mine.
Yeah, in winter would have frozen at times without heaters. So this was a fan heater. Where would the actual fan have been?
I've no idea. I mean, the cables were better.
It would have been a big fan.
Could have been set up here. It could have
Maybe
been anywhere.
sat at the top there and blowing hot air basically.
Warm air in, yeah.
Warm
Probably.
air. It makes sense.
Somebody could be, I could be totally wrong, but
it makes sense. Fan heater, yeah. Still turning?
Not really. It's a bit seized.
Right.
Right.
Let's go on, see what else we find.
That's a water pipe.
That's definitely a water pipe. Yeah.
It's bizarre how they've done that there.
Why they've done this? You know, I think in places obviously there was natural fractures or part of the old man basically veins. But there's some natural fractures here, you know.
Can you see?
And I think maybe there was some material coming out.
It's a fracture indeed.
There's fractures, yeah.
I was here, we worked this left hand side as well when you get to the crossroads here. We worked that A and B drive. While they were still working the top end of the mine, we used the old shaft area to drill this end and get the spar out of that end as well, because there was quite a bit left on this side of the mine, past the old charging station.
So we come to this arch level, ringed is a ring, is it? They are ring level. I call them arches, but they are rings. Yeah, the actual term for those metal arches are rings. A ring level, and you can see a clear example of the cribbing that sits on top of it. God knows what's up there. It seems very broken though.
So they drive it, and if the ground was really, really bad, obviously fractured or whatever else, they put the rings in, and then they bored it so far. They bored the rings as they were going up. They put cribbing at the back of them, so it took it to either wall, and then they build up above as well. So if you look how it's built up above, it's basically just to take any weight that if it does drop, it's not going to come crashing through. It'll just take the weight gradually and hold it. But
yeah, it's a cribbing. It's what they call cribbing, which is like a Jenga of planks of wood, pretty much.
If you look at this bit though, these are set on top of the rings and the outside of the rings, because obviously this must be quite a bad ground because of how close together they are, because they're really close here.
Oh right, you're right. So the rings are closer together than we have seen.
Normally,
so that's to give added strength, extra strength.
Yeah, normally I think there used to be 5 foot between, something like that, but they're really close.
That is a good point. I've never noticed this. Well, I've noticed, but I never thought about it like that.
Obviously, there is a lot of whatever is above there. There's a drill steel there.
Yeah.
Set into floor.
All right. Is that a Puma drill head?
It's a drill steel, yeah.
A drill
They
steel.
were knock-on ones. That's a very old one. That is really old one, because that's like a chisel end.
The chisel then were older ones.
Yeah.
Were they from your time or before your time?
Before me.
When you say that these were done by hand,
Well, they were drilled by hand by a Puma air drill.
so the Puma air drill was.
Sat on an air leg.
Oh, it was by hand, as in they were standing.
Standing up.
Standing upright. But they were driven obviously by compressed air, were they?
Compressed air, yeah.
But whoever was holding them by hand, yeah.
And yeah, they were a horrible thing to use.
Very heavy things. They used them.
I did, yeah. When I first started working here, we used to use them. And eventually they got 2 face rigs, bow arc face rigs, which were, well, they had one here and one up in the other mine, and they were absolutely fantastic. They really were, made a hell of a difference. For the air drill, they only took like a 6 foot pull on them. With the rigs, they were 8 up to 12 foot, I think. A hell of a difference.
So we come to the crossroads here. The first crossroads. You were working over that
Down here.
end there.
Down there. That's A and B drive. In fact, if you look over the top of this, there's some wheels.
Some what?
Some tyres.
A and B drive.
A and B drive, which is down here.
What is all this toadstone? Is this from other parts of? This got to be from other parts of the. From other parts of the mine.
Yeah,
they were
probably.
just mucking away a lot of the, toadstone.
Should we go over the top?
Why would they wall it up?
Don't know. It's just. It might have even been from a collapse, and they've just filled it up, backfilled it so nobody can get down here.
Yeah, obviously a standard regular practice in mines to backfill levels that they don't get used anymore.
There's quite a bit of water in there now, isn't there?
Yeah.
Have you been in there recently?
The last time was a few weeks ago.
For a trailer wheel.
So this is a wheel from an original vehicle that was...
It's either off a loader or off one of the trailers, but looking at it, it's probably a trailer wheel.
A trailer wheel. Eh?
It's probably off a loader.
Of a loader, yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the original tyres, one of the wheels and tyres off there.
They are very big.
One of the machines.
You would have driven one of these loaders, what did you?
Yeah. I think there's some more down there as well if you look.
Oh, there's one under the water.
Does it look like a tractor tyre?
There's the same as that one, a trailer wheel.
That, yeah, it's like a way deep in the water.
Yeah, we're not gonna carry on that way, but I'm gonna leave the link to basically to the exploration that we did of this level. A and B drive. So
This, I think we worked this last in around about 91, 92 maybe.
1991, 92, that's when you
like
worked A and B drive.
It was an after thing, like they were working higher up in the mine on F, G and H drive, but they decided there was some mineral left down there, so they decided to take it out, and we used the old Shandair rig down there, which was a bit of a cold thing to use because it run on compressed air, but it was long gold on compressed air. Same thing, but a lot slower than the Boart rig, but yeah, it had the same effect. It's quite interesting. It was actually quite an interesting machine to use.
Utility cable still hanging off. They're both electric cables, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they feel quite heavy, and they're still hanging.
If they were water pipe, they'd look like that.
The water piping would have been water
That's
piping.
water pipe, yeah. Or they use the steel ones as well. Like they use the steel air pipes as well, which things on the wall.
So
Where
here on the right we got the old substation.
this is where a lot of the electrical stuff was.
So that's where all the electrical mains
And for upstairs as well.
and main switches were they?
If you look on some of the cabinets in there, it's got all
Let's
the
take a look.
mains and that.
Fire emergency thing.
Yeah, there'll have been extinguishers in here, but there's also.
Fire extinguishers, yeah. Obviously a lot of the cable has
See
been
that
stripped
red?
of the copper.
That red thing up there,
Yeah.
that's the old fire point. That was like a
Oh yeah, there.
spray.
Let's take a look at it. So this was the substation where all the main switchboards.
Yeah, I mean, still full of oil that as well.
What is this? Why was it full of oil? This? What was
Cooling, wasn't it, for cooling? For cooling cables and stuff. I think it's
Oh, this. So you think the cables were submerged in oil?
we keep a lot of stuff like that in oil, especially on like transformers and things like that. I mean, these have all been pulled over as well, because these are stood up.
Yeah.
Still some old fuses here, look.
These are the old fuses, are
30
they?
amp.
30 amp fuses.
That thing there is a float for a pump.
What is this?
Float for a pump.
Right.
It could have been in water, and when it dropped so far, it had tripped the pump to get the pump going, to pump the water out.
All right.
But somebody's had a field day, you know, with a cable, haven't they?
Someone's had a bit of a field here. Yeah.
Somebody else has left that as well. What's new?
This is a memorial for
Yes, I didn't know.
a mine worker and explorer,
Lance Fretwell.
Lance Fretwell, from 1966, passed away 2020. It's a nice little memorial, is it?
Would have been about my age. Well, he would have been my age.
Yeah, you were born 1966.
What these were for?
Fuse,
30 amp fuses.
30 amp fuses. And look, this is the 130-foot level.
Yeah, feeder. So obviously charging station. So that would have been for over there. And people have just robbed everything, haven't they?
Yeah.
See that? You can.
Right, tell us about this then.
Well, I presume that's like a fire extinguisher of sorts.
This is a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, in fact, it's still charged. Look.
It's still got,
charge in it.
it's still got full pressure, is it?
Yeah.
Full pressure.
Whether it works off smoke, I don't know.
I think when
That gets broken, I don't know.
this gets broken, maybe when it reaches certain temperature
And it
here.
goes straight off. Obviously, there was a big sub or something there, and that was there to cool it, to stop it from burning.
Oh, what have we got here?
Miner's belt.
Original miner's belt.
That would have
Yeah.
been.
So leather belt basically with a metal buckle.
I think it's leather.
Do you wear any of this?
I used to have these, yeah. It's obviously been off somebody a lot bigger than me.
It's
Size
quite a large belt.
Rather a large person with all that, but yeah, but that's what it is.
Let's go to the end, yeah? Have a look
Yeah.
at the collapse.
On the brake pads,
Yeah.
though.
Hey,
Brake pads up on the vehicles.
what is this?
Brake
It's a
shoe.
brake pad.
A brake shoe.
Well, a pad, yeah, pad
Brake
shoe.
pad.
A brake shoe for a
Well, a paddock, you'd be off you could probably off going at loaders. Certainly not off a tractor, you'd be off a loader that one.
Big, Big.
Definitely.
Twice the size of a car one.
Can't rest.